The Nintendo eShop has just updated with a plethora of new deals with the NIS America Publisher Sale. A lot of great deals have been added as a part of that, and I want to take you guys through some of the best deals available. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. And first of all, we have Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana. This is a fantastic JRPG in a world that is filled with JRPGs right now, and a lot of time is being devoted towards Japanese RPGs. Ys 8 definitely stands out as one of the best ones. Ys has always remained very consistent. It reminds me a lot of the Tales of series, not necessarily in gameplay and presentation style, but the fact of the matter is that these games have always remained incredibly consistent in terms of quality level, and Ys 8 is no different. It's an excellent game with pretty good visuals. However, the standout is definitely the music. The music in these games are excellent. The gameplay is incredibly satisfying, and you do have a lot of gameplay in here as well. You're talking, north of 40-50 hours of gameplay and a lot of content to delve yourself into. Ys returns with a brand new adventure, and this was the first one in 8 years. It returns with a brand new adventure, and Adol awakens shipwrecked and stranded on a cursed island. There, he and the other shipwrecked passengers he rescues from a village to challenge fearsome beasts and mysterious ruins on the isolated island. Amidst this, Adol begins to dream of a mysterious blue-haired maiden living in an unknown world. Join Adol as he unravels the riddle of the Cursed Isle and the blue-haired maiden Dana in Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana. Obviously, Ys 9 is in development right now. Hopefully it comes stateside sooner rather than later, because that game is shaping up to be fantastic. But Ys 8 was a fantastic title in its own right, and if you're a fan of Japanese RPGs, or even if you want a quality JRPG to get into the genre, I would think Ys 8 is a pretty good one with its satisfying gameplay, great music, and solid cast of characters. Next up, we have a plethora of the Disgaea games on sale. Disgaea 1 Complete is 50% off for $24.99. Disgaea 4 Complete Plus is 40% off for $29.99, and then Disgaea 5 Complete is 50% off for $19.99. Kind of interesting in that Disgaea 5 is the cheapest of the three, but Disgaea 5 is actually the oldest of the three releases as far as the Switch releases go. Disgaea 5 is fantastic. These games in general are really good. However, you have to go into them expecting a lot of time being invested into these games. These games are rather grindy. They do have a lot of content, and the visuals aren't anything to write home about. It does look more like an old school style of game, but it works for Disgaea, and it's a strategy RPG that offers hundreds of hours of over-the-top, award-winning gameplay, and marks the first time the core games have been available on the go. The game includes all 8 bonus scenarios, 4 fan-favorite characters, and 3 character classes that were originally DLC in the PS4 release, so this is a quality release of Disgaea 5. As far as Disgaea 4 goes, that's more of the same. These games retain a lot of the fundamentals, however, they do all have very quirky and charming characters. Maybe a little bit of an acquired taste, but definitely a taste that I have acquired, and I enjoy the characters in the Disgaea universe, and Disgaea 1 is rather good as well, so definitely give those games a look, especially if you're looking for quality turn-based RPGs. That you can't go wrong with the Disgaea titles. Next up, here's one that's a little bit different. Yomawari The Long Night Collection. This includes Yomawari Night Alone and Yomawari Midnight Shadows. These games are rather good. They're very haunting games. In Night Alone, a quiet evening stroll takes a turn for the worse as a tragic accident befalls a little girl and her dog. When her sister goes missing later in the night, the little girl decides to venture out into the eerie darkness to search for her loved ones as evil spirits haunt the alleyways and streets of her once peaceful town. Do you think it's going to be a safe journey? Probably not. It's a horror game. Although it also implements a rather cutesy art style, it's very much scary in nature, and I enjoyed my time with these ones. If you are looking for a cutesy horror title, I think these are rather good buys, and you get both games for $19.99. I think that's a solid pickup. And I would give them a recommendation, especially because these are titles that have gone a little bit under the radar. Next up, we have The Longest 5 Minutes. That is down to $16. That's 60% off. Rather interesting old school RPG here that employs a pixel style visual presentation. A hero faces his greatest foe, the Overlord, but there's one problem. Why can't he remember anything? In the midst of battle, his allies' words and the Overlord's taunting trigger flashbacks, slowly rebuilding his memories. Will our hero remember everything before he falls to the Overlord? This is down to $16 if you want an old school JRPG with a very old school visual style as well. Definitely looks like a game you would play generations ago. Nonetheless, this is going to be up the alley of a lot of you guys, so check that out if you're interested. Next up, the Alliance Alive HD Remastered is down to $30 from $50. That's a 40% off discount. Now, this was a game that actually originally released on the Nintendo 3DS, and it was pretty well received there. Unfortunately, with the 3DS kind of being phased out at this point, it would have been unfortunate if Alliance Alive never got the recognition it deserved. Well, now there's an HD Remastered version, and rise up and ignite the resistance in the Alliance Alive HD Remastered. Explore diverse realms, awaken new skills mid-battle, and forge alliances to challenge the daemons that have taken over the world. The game was received pretty well again, and the HD Remaster improves it, but the core game was already rather good, so to have it on the Nintendo Switch, definitely advantageous in that regard. A couple of other deals I want to quickly mention before we sign off. Destiny Connect TikTok Travelers is down to $24. The Lost Child, which I thought was a rather underrated JRPG, that's down to $20. Not a perfect game and definitely not worth that initial $50 price point, but for a $20 price point, definitely a lot more compelling on that end. And the Caligula Effect Overdose is down to $25. This was very much receiving a mixed reception, and at a full $50, I can understand why you might not be completely enamored with it. I really dig the presentation style of the game, and I think it has a very good soundtrack. So for $25, I think it's a lot better of a pickup, so I wanted to give that a shout as well. So that's going to conclude this video. Again, a lot of great deals added to the Nintendo eShop. I would highly recommend you to check out Ys 8 if you have yet to. The Disgaea games are always quality pickups, especially if you want games that you can invest a lot of time into, and Yomawari, the Long Night Collection, is not a bad pickup as well, along with a couple of other great deals available right now. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.